Hello and welcome to KLM Institute.
Gautam Adani, Adani Group charged with bribery and fraud by U.S. federal court, what it means for Indian investors and the business world. In a dramatic twist to one of India's most high-profile business stories, U.S. federal authorities have charged Gautam Adani, the founder and chairman of the Adani Group, with serious criminal offenses, including securities fraud, conspiracy, and bribery. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has alleged that Adani engaged in a massive bribery scheme to secure lucrative solar energy contracts from the Indian government, leading to charges of defrauding U.S. investors. The indictment has raised eyebrows globally, with significant implications not just for Adani Group's operations but for Indian investors and the country's business environment at large. Let's dive into the details of the charges, the impact on Adani Group, and how it might affect India's business landscape. The allegations: a massive bribery scheme. According to the charges filed by the U.S. federal court, Gautam Adani and his associates allegedly offered bribes worth over 2,029 crore rupees to Indian government officials. This was done to secure highly profitable solar energy contracts with state electricity distribution companies. The contracts were projected to generate profits of more than $2 billion over 20 years. In the indictment, it is claimed that Gautam Adani personally met with Indian officials to facilitate these bribes between 2000 and 2024. Additionally, his nephew Sagar Adani, along with several other key figures in the Adani Group, were involved in tracking bribe payments and securing solar energy deals in return for these illicit transactions. Who else is involved? The indictment also names a series of high-ranking executives in the Adani Group and its affiliates. These include Vineet S. Jain, CEO of Adani Green Energy, Ranjit Gupta, former CEO of Azure Power Global, and others who have been charged with conspiring to defraud investors and mislead federal investigators. Interestingly, the case also involves Cyril Cabanes, an Australian-French businessman working for a Canadian institutional investor, who is accused of conspiring to violate the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act (FCPA), a law that prohibits bribery of foreign officials. The fallout. What this means for Adani Group. As news of the charges broke, Adani Group's stock prices took a major hit. This was not the first time the conglomerate's financials came under scrutiny. Back in 2023, Hindenburg Research accused the group of brazen stock manipulation, accounting fraud, and money laundering, leading to a significant drop in its stock value. Now, with this new round of charges, the Adani Group's shares have taken another severe hit, with prices of Adani bonds dropping by 3 to 5 cents. The group, which has raised over $3 billion in loans from global investors, is now facing scrutiny over its financial practices and transparency. This latest scandal is likely to continue shaking investor confidence, particularly among those holding shares in Adani companies, including Adani Ports and Adani Green Energy. How did this scheme work? Court documents reveal startling details about how the Adani Group allegedly orchestrated the bribery scheme. Text messages on Sagar Adani's cell phone tracked bribe payments, the regions involved, and the expected contract sizes for the solar energy projects. Investigators claim that Adani's associates even attempted to destroy evidence and mislead federal authorities. Moreover, the case also suggests that Adani Green Energy raised funds from international investors by making false and misleading claims about the company's anti-corruption efforts. Political ties and global fallout. Gautam Adani's close ties with Prime Minister Narendra Modi have come under the microscope. Both men hail from Gujarat, and their personal relationship has been well documented. It has even been suggested that Adani's political connections have played a significant role in helping his company secure lucrative government contracts, particularly in sectors like airports and renewable energy. International news outlets, including the New York Times and the Financial Times, have pointed out how Adani's political relationships have shaped perceptions of his business dealings, with some alleging an uneven playing field for competitors. These revelations are likely to intensify debates about crony capitalism in India, with critics alleging that such connections give Adani an unfair advantage in securing state contracts. The SEC charges. What is at stake for Adani Group? The US SEC has charged Adani and his associates with violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, FCPA, which could result in severe legal penalties, including monetary fines and sanctions. The Eastern District Court of New York is overseeing the case, and an arrest warrant has been issued for Gautam Adani and other key figures involved. The charges are not only about the bribery but also about misleading investors, which could have far-reaching consequences for Adani Group's ability to raise funds in global markets moving forward. What does this mean for Indian investors and business? The Adani case could have serious ramifications for Indian investors and the broader Indian business environment. Here are some potential impacts. 1. Investor confidence. The charges against Adani Group are likely to dent the confidence of both Indian and global investors. The accusations of corruption and financial misconduct could lead to more cautious behavior among investors, especially in sectors closely linked to the Indian government. 2. Stock market volatility. The Adani Group's recent stock decline, combined with broader market reactions, could lead to increased volatility in Indian stock markets, particularly in sectors such as renewable energy, infrastructure, and ports, where Adani Group has a significant presence. 3. Government scrutiny. Indian regulators might be forced to tighten controls and investigate the practices of large conglomerates, especially those with close ties to political figures. This could lead to more scrutiny of corporate governance in India and may push for more transparency in government-linked business deals. 4. International reputation. With global media outlets extensively covering the charges, India could face reputation damage in the international business community. This might affect future investments, especially in sectors like renewable energy and infrastructure, where global investors are looking for ethical and transparent operations. 5. Impact on Adani's global expansion. Adani Group's plans for global expansion, especially in the solar energy sector, could now face increased challenges. International investors and lenders may be hesitant to engage with Adani Group until the legal issues are resolved. Moreover, international competitors may also use this opportunity to challenge Adani's dominance in the Indian energy and infrastructure sectors. The road ahead. What can Adani do? With arrest warrants and serious charges hanging over his head, Gautam Adani and his associates will need to mount a robust defense to counter these allegations. The coming months will be crucial in determining how the legal process unfolds and whether the charges stick. Meanwhile, Adani Group's public relations strategy will be tested as it tries to restore investor confidence and salvage its reputation. For Indian investors, especially those with significant holdings in Adani companies, this could be a wake-up call to reassess their investment strategies. Diversifying portfolios and keeping an eye on the legal developments in this case will be essential to navigate the uncertainty ahead. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates on this developing story.